You can knock. I wonder who that is.
Hey,
Holy.
buddy. How's it going?
It's this guy who everybody knows.
It's this guy.
Hey, Cameron.
Hey, Cameron. Brendan.
It's Brendan.
Hey, good to meet you.
This is
Excited to see what happens there.
not me.
Man, I've got no musical talent, unfortunately. I'd love to. Like, I'd love to be able to sing. You know, people always say, because I got this, I got a nice, deep speaking voice, right? Like, oh, can you sing? No.
Right.
You know, if I could be in a...
Doesn't translate.
Yeah, barbershop quartet or something. How about you? You musician?
I play guitar, but nothing
Really?
professionally or anything. But yeah,
Okay.
I love the guitar just as like a meditative tool almost. Just
Gotcha. Right
sit
on.
there and play it.
How long you been playing?
Since I was 8, so like 20 years or something.
What made you pick it up the first time?
Actually, my cousin, he gave me a guitar, my first guitar.
Okay.
And you know, he had always played guitar, would sing at every like family event and stuff.
Right on.
He gave me this old Squire 2 guitar. I don't know if you know about guitars, but they don't even make them anymore. It's
Really? So this is a...
made in India, like
That's cool.
very. It was a low budget guitar at the time,
Alright.
and yeah, I picked it up and just fell in love with it.
There you go. Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice, you know, something you can always go to when you just need to take your mind off the world's problems.
Yeah, totally.
There you go.
What were your seats like at the concert?
We were sitting upper deck behind home plate. So
nice.
it was cool. It was a good view of
Like they're out
everything.
in the field?
They had them out. They were out in the bleachers, like almost like they're out in center field. They got the stage and all that set up. So it was, you know, and Motley Crue brought the smoke machines, and they're still doing.
Do they still wear
Vince-
spandex?
I mean, Vince Neil's spandex for getting a workout. He looks like he's about to give birth to a bowling ball. It's it was you know, he can't quite hit those high screechy notes anymore that he could in 1987, but he's still out there trying, and
That's right. That's what's important.
yeah, exactly. It was
Everybody fails sometimes.
yeah, but they had a pretty good crowd for, you know, they pretty much filled Wrigley, so I mean that's a good. I mean, and they're touring nationwide, so they're, you know, they figured out a way to still make some money off their songs from 30 years ago. Let's hey, do it. Yeah.
How about Joan Jett? Like, how's she doing?
You know, that's a good question. The concert started at 4. It's a daytime show, and Joan Jett was first, so we didn't get there on time. We were at the. I met up with a couple different groups of people that have some food and beer beforehand. Went to El Burrito Mexicano with right there on Addison for some tacos with my buddies Moses and Maria. My dog's godparents, they are.
Nice.
And you'd say most dogs don't have godparents.
Yeah, how does that work?
What are they like?
They were.
Is that a legal term?
Right. Well, they just fell in love with my dog, and they used to live above me, and my place in Bucktown, and then they moved to Mayfair up to the north side, and they still, like, you know, I'd be at work and they just invite my dog up for dinner. You know, they had my spare keys, and they just have Hank, my little purse dog, up for dinner, and then once they moved, they didn't want to break that connection, so I drop him off there a lot of weekends, and he just chases rabbits around their yard. And,
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's a great connection. They're awesome. So they were attending the concert too. So I met up with them to grab a bite to eat, and then we stopped at the dugout to have a beer. And then I met my group over at Old Crow, one of those giant Wrigleyville bars. Now they're like 4,000 people. So
How was that day?
How was Old Crow?
How was the neighborhood, I guess?
It was pretty wild. Yeah, you know, it was an older crowd than you know, because that hair band era. Your fans are of an older age, but a lot of them, you know, were reliving. I didn't see any.
Maybe more a bunch of heart attacks.
Yeah. You know, I'm surprised with Vince Neil. We were all on heart attack watch for Vince Neil. Man, Kickstart his heart. Somebody kickstart his heart. Come on, he's asking. He's not singing anymore. He's actually asking you to kickstart his heart.
After every song, he has to get the defib out.
Yeah. They did do some they let Tommy Lee just do a drum solo for a while. So I'm sure they had some oxygen machines back there for Vince. But it was entertaining as hell, and the neighborhood was wild. Good times. But I'm paying for it today. That's no doubt about it. But hey, that's all part of the deal we make with good times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I learned about Tommy Lee during when Celebrity Rehab and all that celebrity gossip was really popular.
Right.
I didn't even know that he was a musician. I just knew him from the Pam Anderson Sextape.
Sure. Yeah. It was
just being on celebrity TV and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that they had that show, Tommy Lee Goes to College. They sent him back to, and he was in a band in Nebraska or something. Yeah, it was. He definitely became a different type of uber celebrity after Motley Crue's heyday. That's for sure. Yeah, he was more of famous for being famous for a while.
Right. Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah. It's what would you say? What's one of the best concerts you ever been to? If you had to. It's a tough question to put on somebody with no.
Yeah, I saw Radiohead in Tinley Park a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and that was a really good opening. Or that was an awesome set. It was funny because Oasis opened up for them, and the Gallagher brothers, they played together for the first time in years or something.
Without trying to break each other's face.
Yeah. At least on stage they seemed cool. But the thing is, they played for 2.5 hours.
As the opener.
Yeah, and it was awful, honestly. Yeah. It was the worst. That part was awful. But then the Gallagher brothers
just play Wonderwall again.
Yeah, exactly.
And we came here to hear Wonderwall.
I don't even think they played Wonderwall. I mean, they just played all these obscure songs.
Oh man, that is Noel Gallagher, right? That's the Gallagher brothers.
Yeah.
And that had to upset Radiohead, right?
I mean, I don't think they really cared. They came out and they killed it.
that they'd play for that long, right?
Yeah.
Your opener's probably supposed to be a specific amount of time.
Yeah, they for sure played longer than Radiohead.
Wow. Upstaging the headliner.
Yeah.
That's a cool venue down there at Tinley Park.
Yeah. I've seen a few shows there.
Yeah. I wouldn't put this Motley Crue in my top 100 concerts I've been to, but it was fun. It was its own brand of fun.
It's like professional wrestling. It seems like exactly the same.
Yeah, there's some element of that for sure. It was no doubt. So we were discussing which chairs to sit in here for, and I was thinking do I want to show my?
You decided you wanted the close up.
Yeah, I guess I did want the close up camera. Although I usually tend to sit on that side. If there were a camera there, not that I'm on camera all that often, but I would choose that because this is my good ear.
Oh, you have weird ears?
And then this ear.
Is your better ear?
It's a bad ear. Well, I got it. My earlobe was bitten off in a bar fight.
So no way.
Yeah. See that?
Hearing is okay in both?
Yeah, luckily it didn't affect my hearing too much, but
Dang, so you got Mike Tyson at a bar?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right? Yeah.
Was this before that? Or
it was right. It wasn't long after that. Yeah.
Was the guy inspired by Mike
I think
Tyson?
so. Yeah. I mean, who wasn't inspired to bite someone's ear off after that? But it was. It was definitely in the shadow of that Evander Holyfield.
Were you guys throwing punches too, or is it just randomly just?
Yeah, we were grappling. We were kind of we were on the ground, and he went for the ear.
You were going to kill him?
No, he was.
That seems like a desperate decision. It's a desperate act.
Yeah, that's a panic mode.
Yeah, no, he was. I think he was just an ultra violent person. So he was. He had that going in. That was one of his moves.
Did he tear it off and spit it out?
Yeah, he did whip his head around, and I heard a snap, and I wasn't sure what really happened, and I stood up in my Abercrombie shirt. This was the 90s. It was all covered in blood. I was like, whoa, what's going on? Yeah, and then a ambulance driver showed up. It was outside in the parking lot, actually, and police officer and the ambulance showed up and they were helping me look around for my lobe in the parking lot, but we couldn't find it. He's like, I think he swallowed it. I think he swallowed it. So yeah, what can you do? You win some, you lose some. Yeah, but
fun, I mean, that's a good story.
yeah, it's giving me a story to tell, for all time. So, and without too much permanent damage, and normally, people don't notice unless I point it out. That there's a little bit of a
freak
bite
out
mark.
when people touch your ears.
I get a little bit of at the barber shop, like whoa.
Don't get the top too.
Right. Yeah. I got to save every bit of lobe that I got left.
Oh man.
It was wild times.
You ever consider like plastic surgery? Is
thought
that even an option?
Yeah, like I remember they talked. They said there's a way they could sew my ear to my neck for a while and hope and like it would grow together and then it would look like it'd be some real skin. Then they'd patch it up and make it look like a full ear.
Man,
but
or you
crazy.
could just get
just like
plugs. You could like gauge them out really big.
Yeah,
it would look perfectly.
That might that might be the way to go. Yeah, it was and then after a while I just was like it kind of it is what it is.
Yeah, totally.
It's it doesn't. I don't feel really self-conscious about it. I more bring it up for just as a reason to tell the story.
I wish I had that story.
At least you didn't have to get like your ass cheek grafted to it or anything.
Right. Yeah. Right. I've read stories like that. Yeah, that would have been. Is that you growing an ear on your ass? Yeah, long story. Yeah.
It was this or a mouse.
Right. I didn't even think about that. I mean, they grow ears on mice all the time.
Yeah.
Why not just get a mouse ear?
Right. Yeah. Maybe I'll look. I'll see what. Maybe I'll look on eBay. See if see if I can get a deal on one. Have you ever? What's serious injuries in your lifetime? Broken bones.
I broke my collarbone like 3 times one time. It was like the same summer.
It's a rough summer.
I was snowboarding at the 7th grade snowboarding field trip, and I don't know if you've ever been to Wilmot.
Yeah.
It's basically like a glorified bunny hill.
Right,
I mean, it's tiny, and
this isn't the Alps.
Yeah, no, it's awful. Like their tallest hill is tiny.
Yeah.
And it's almost always icy. So I had snowboarded before, but I was snowboarding with the buddy, and just hit some ice and just tumbled down the rest of the bunny hill. But it was the real hill, but it was like all the way down to the bottom. And, hurt a snap.
Oh.
And it honestly wasn't even that bad. When you break a bone, like it basically goes numb and get full of adrenaline.
Okay.
But I remember, like I went back home to my parents or whatever, and like my parents, they didn't even take me to the doctor or anything until a couple days later. I was just like sitting with a broken collarbone, like in bed. I was like, oh my god, this sucks.
Have you noticed Cam's not moving around a lot? He's fine.
No,
He's
they
all right.
just like notoriously never took us to doctors or anything. So finally I went to a doctor.
Why is that, do you think?
Probably just like money and like the body will heal itself.
Sure. That was their from that generation.
Did kind of,
walk it off.
So I ever had scars, or like they would just butterfly stitch things.
Yeah.
But anyways, like it ended up kind of healing all right. And then I was on a trampoline with some buddies, and a dude backflipped like right onto it, and then it just snapped again. So that was the second time.
I think the medical community they invented trampolines.
Yeah,
just to drum up business. It's just like it's made to be it's made for major injuries. Right?
Yeah,
lawn darts too.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's a big conspiracy.
Total death trap. Yeah.
So you re-broke it on the trampoline.
Re-broke it, and by then I was just like, whatever, this is just a thing that happens every couple weeks. And then it healed up again, and then I was biking. I went up to go like do a Feeble grind on this box, and just the pulling up of it snapped it again.
Really?
And it just snapped. Man. And that one actually hurt because it was there was no like. I didn't fall. It just popped out.
Sure.
And then just got it like wrapped up and it healed again. But that was a fun summer. 3 times.
Could you describe what a Feeble grind is? I think that's.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
curious. I don't know
a
what
feeble
that is.
grind is where on a bike your back peg is on the rail or the box, and then your front tire is riding it.
Okay.
So you're grinding a peg and then you're riding a tire on it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it's actually, depending on where you're doing it, it's a little easier than just doing it on metal pegs because, you know, you have less friction. You got a tire there, basically.
Gotcha.
Rolling with you. And, yeah, it's a cool grind.
So I take it you've got quite an extensive cycling background, bike.
Kind of. I mean, actually, after I broke
BMX.
the collarbone like those 3 times, I went into guitar. I was like, I
Okay.
can't do this anymore.
You hung up the
Like,
pegs.
Yeah, I think I went skiing one time after that. And, like, it was just like, you know, if I break my collarbone again, I can't bike. Or I can't play guitar.
Yeah. It's when you put the guitar strap on, you're thinking about
But
that
I learned how
collarbone.
to do everything like with both hands eventually,
Yeah.
and
There you go.
I think it was a good learning experience.
There you go. Yeah. That forced you to become ambidextrous.
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool. Interesting. Yeah,
Definitely.
that's awesome. Yeah. That's that's a wild summer. I've never broken a bone, so.
Yeah,
Really?
same.
I mean, really?
Yeah.
No, I mean, knock on wood.
I mean,
no.
hey, we could change that right now.
Yeah,
We
let's.
got a hammer. We could get some.
get some
some boards, maybe. We could do like Misery.
Right. James Caan died. Speaking of misery,
Yeah.
yeah, he just died this week. And Paulie Walnuts died from The Sopranos.
Oh man, R.I.P. Push
Yeah,
him down
right.
for the homers down south.
Oh man, yeah,
Jesus.
that guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Way to bring it down.
Yeah, sorry.
It's, I mean, just the mention of Paulie Walnuts has me tearing
Right.
up.
Yeah. That's. He was the guy.
Can't reprise that role.
No. Yeah. Oh.
Well, you know, eventually every cast member and every show will die eventually.
Yeah,
That's true.
Sobering thought.
It's a good point.
Yeah. It's
It
just
brings
a
me
matter of
little bit
time.
hope.
Yeah.
I always feel like they keep on remaking these basically like Marvel superhero movie blockbusters that
Sure.
like arguably already had awesome franchises done, like Spider-Man, Batman, whatever, Superman.
Who's your
But-
Spider-Man?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it, but it'd have to be Tobey Maguire. I mean,
Tobey
that's when I
Maguire.
grew
That's a
up,
good question.
and
Tobey
Yeah,
Maguire's
I
my
feel the same.
Spider-Man.
yeah, those
Yeah.
movies were decent.
3 Tobys in one room.
Yeah.
Tobers? Is that the term?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Toby will always be my Spider-Man. Yeah, and now they make them with like increasing frequency. It feels like there's a new Batman every
Yeah.
a new Thor movie every
Did you see the
year.
new one?
I haven't.
The
No.
new Spider-Man's movie?
No, I've
Do you know about it? You know about
wait, which
all
one?
the Spider-Man
Oh yeah, there's like
being in it
right. Yeah,
together?
Toby was in it, right?
Mhm.
And Andrew Garfield came back, and like
Yeah.
they were all Spider-Man. Yeah, I saw the memes. I think, but it just confused me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It
Tom
it just
Holland
seems so
was
very
he-
recently.
yeah.
It seems too desperate. Like they should. The only reason I brought it up is they should remake these old shows that are awesome. Like those TV shows like in the early 2000s, The Wire, Sopranos, like Oz, all those
Yeah.
awesome HBO shows.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't hate it if they started like remaking those.
Yeah.
You know, instead of always a superhero.
Yes.
And
I'd
there's
like to
so many
audition
awesome.
for the role of McNulty in The Wire if I could.
Yeah, dude, you probably get
Give
it.
me a whiskey. No, I'm with you. Those, yeah, that would be interesting to see those.
There's
you know.
so many good stories that
Yeah,
could.
yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna remake something, there's so much old philosophy, Greek mythology, and
Yeah.
mythology from all cultures.
Yeah. Well, speaking of old stories, you mind if I promote my my novel,
I want you to promote your novel.
Oh, nice.
Genius of 1990s Girl? Here, there's a copy for you.
For me?
Hold it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Hold it
Awesome,
up to the
dude.
camera.
Yeah,
You're on
yeah.
close up now.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Genius of
Mhm.
1990s Girl.
Available at Amazon. Yeah, so it's just about coming of age novel, growing up, partying, sex, learning about life and growing up in the '90s and it's chock full of '90s references. If you like, if you want every sitcom, movie, and musician reference from the '90s, brought one for you too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you were an author. Is this your first?
It is my debut novel.
No,
love
yeah,
it.
really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Thank you. I found a.
My camera.
Look at that cover.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Who did the cover for you?
I found an artist on Fiverr actually.
That's awesome.
That's very cheap of you.
Yeah. Is that? Yeah.
Isn't Fiverr
I should have come to Adam. I would have.
$5.
No, it actually cost.
God.
I paid a decent couple
Yeah,
hundred.
you get what you
Shut
paid
your
for.
camera off.
Right, yeah. For my next novel, I'm coming to you if that's possible.
Anytime I have to make an artist statement or like write anything, I just go on Fiverr, pay $20, and then I just like don't care at all.
Yeah, exactly. right.
It's like
That's a
so
good
much
idea.
easier.
Yeah.
Did you do Fiverr for the back as well?
Yeah, the same same girl did the
I
whole
didn't realize that Fiverr
Yeah.
was still
That's
really
so great.
in play. Or
Yeah, people are making decent money on it. It's
cool.
for
I remember that. It's so old.
for people's for a side hustle and
When
stuff.
do you think that
People-
came out? Like 2013 or was
That's-
it older than that?
That sounds right. It's I'd guess around 2013. Yeah.
I didn't even know it was around back then. I learned about it. A lot of YouTubers use it, or like
Sure.
musicians.
Yeah, lots of musicians on there. Like I'll create a beat for you, or
Yeah.
I'll a guitar riff, or yeah. So it's a viable resource when you on a budget.
Yeah, totally. I think one time I needed just like a little techno track for like a little video commercial.
Yeah.
And I asked a buddy, and it took him forever, and then he didn't really get around to it, and then I just went on Fiverr, and then it just was like instant.
Yeah.
And it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's they refined the system pretty nicely where there's a deadline on and ratings. You can tell who's going to deliver on time.
Do you ever use it on the other end? Like, do you ever ghostwrite or like offer your writing services?
I've thought about it, and it's something that I might end up doing. But
some college kids needs an essay done.
Right, crank one out. I wasn't averse to back in my college days. I took exams for people. It was back in the day before I feel like
easier.
It was easier to skirt the system back then, technology wise. All I had to do was show up and grab a blue book and fill it out, and there you go. But
So basically, you could go into like the testing hall and take it in.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to wear a disguise or anything. You just walk down.
Yeah, because it'd be in a big lecture hall, so no one's really paying attention. There was I remember once I saw it. Like I'd taken astronomy first semester, and then my buddy who was trying to graduate was taking 21 hours of classes. He took astronomy just to fill out just to get out of there, and just to fill out his roster. And he's like, I haven't gone to a class once this year. It's like, so I think he gave me a fake ID in exchange for, because he was 21, I was a freshman, and he gave me a fake ID in exchange for taking his test.
That's
You're really taking life by the.
You did well.
I think I got him a C or a C minus, enough to pass. Yeah.
And the fake ID was yours, whether you pass or not.
Yeah, that was the deal. Like I was getting the ID, and then it was no matter what I got. Yeah, in fact, you know what? I think I did it twice for him, the midterm and the final. I got a C and an F, but it averaged out to a D, so he passed.
That's awesome, man. That's a real friend right there.
Right, I got him through. So it was enough.
But I'm really curious about this book, though. So how long did you have the idea of this kind of bouncing around in your head?
Man, it was the better part of a decade.
Before you started actually being like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I guess, I just in talking with, just conversations with people all the time, guys aren't want to get too deep on their like failed relationships or whatnot, or different paths that they took because of just any particular reason. Guys are a little more closed off about their emotions, but I every once in a while I talk to my friends and my own thoughts, just like, man, I wonder what would have happened, how this affected me. So I thought about writing about myself, but then it felt like I wanted to do something fictional. So just
it's always
kind of progressed,
isn't it?
They say there's a lot of truth in fiction, but I took time to really make sure it was I wanted it to be an authentic fiction, and not just changing the names of real stories. I really wanted to. So that's why it took me several years just to come up with different ideas and really refine it and make it the way how I wanted it to be. So
that's some dedication.
It was. It ultimately was fun to do.
Did you do a secret window style where you like went out into a cabin and just holed up for a couple months and typed it out?
You know what? To some degree, that not that I did that, but the world kind of provided me with that during the pandemic. It was like,
oh, okay, so that was like, when it was.
It definitely
like really you just wrote it.
That's when I really hammered down on it. Like I had kind of put it aside. There were several starts and stops with it, and I'd kind of discarded it almost. But then the pandemic came around, and I was like, all right. I remember the first. Remember we got locked inside we're supposed to be like, okay, 6 weeks, everybody stay indoors, then we'll be done with it. There was kind of that false hope that it was just going to be. So I was like, as a true Chicagoan, I was like, I can drink my way through this. So I went to the Jewels, and I got a couple cases of Miller Lite and some Home Run Inn pizzas, frozen pizzas, and it's like, I'll see you in 6 weeks. See everybody in 6 weeks. And then it became clear that this pandemic was, it was going to last longer than 6 weeks, and so and also I was like, man, I can't keep up this pace of eating frozen pizzas and drinking beer. I gotta change my life.
I must have gained 20 pounds.
Right?
I lost 40.
Yeah, same. Like I was ordering Grubhub. I was getting burritos every night. I was like, man, I'm gonna really live it up during this pandemic.
It was a rough patch.
So I too.
Not with the pandemic. I just mean like the way. Treated our bodies.
We did, yeah. Seriously, I gained 10 pounds, no doubt, and I was just unhealthy. I felt like crap, and I was like, I can't keep up this pace. I'm gonna switch gears, and so I started, working out a little bit, getting, being a little better to myself, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do something with this pandemic. So I really buckled down and started and made myself write every day, so it was, like you said about making the best out of how your injury helped you become ambidextrous. Ambidextrous. It's something I tried to make a little positive out of it. Which was a worldwide pandemic, I guess.
Totally.
Yeah.
How long? What did it take you to like finish it then?
It took years again. I just published it last month, and it took me, I put it out, I'd think it was done, and then I'd be like, no, it's just not done yet, and so I'd do it over, and, so it was, it really took me another two plus years to really knock it out, so till I was happy with it. So,
that's crazy. When you think about like what you cut from it, do you not miss what you cut out, but like what, did you end up cutting out a lot, and where does that stuff go?
Sure. Yeah, it's
if anywhere.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I did. Yeah, there is stuff that I cut out, and then it's I'd cut something out, and I put something back in, and then put it back in, put another thing back in, and so I still have it. I have some other fully written chapters that I ultimately decided wasn't necessary for the story, or just didn't fit with what I was the overall tone of what I was trying to say.
Would you release those in a different format?
Some someday down the line, perhaps I could see that happening. It's not out of the question, but for now, I'm just gonna sit on them, and I really just wanted this to be a love letter to the '90s, sort of like it's a decade that I did a lot of growing up, and those, as you can tell, I like nostalgia. I was at a Motley Crue concert last night.
Right.
So I've got some sentimentality, and the 90s was a key decade for me, both in entertainment and just in my own life, personal life. So I just wanted to try and capture what it was like to be a young person back then, a young Irish Catholic lad growing up, and so I wanted a snapshot.
Readings from it, or how are you promoting it?
Yeah, I've been. I haven't done. I did do.
You should totally do the voiceover for it.
That is that's in the works. I'm an audio book is something I'm recording,
that's
so
really
I'm
good.
going to release that.
Cool.
But I did a reading on. So my day job is I work on the Steve Dahl podcast. I'm a broadcaster.
Oh, my dad loves that guy.
Right on. Yeah. So he's my boss and his co-host.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Steve Dahl all the time. He does construction, and I would work with him, and he'd blast Steve Dahl
Right
in
on.
the morning.
Yeah, there you go. That's awesome. That's funny. Small world. And so I've done a few readings on the show for our loyal subscribers, and they've been very supportive of the book and really
I'd listen to
really
the Bible
encouraging
if you
me.
read it.
Right on. I'll read a few Psalms if you'd like. Right now.
I don't have a copy of that.
But you don't have one of
I'm
them.
trying to read it. It's not a good book to own, I'm sure. Yeah,
Dude, it is the
I should have a good copy, or
name the best-selling book of all time.
Yeah.
The Bible.
Yeah.
It's a book that's everything's based off of every other literature. Really has some base. You could at least draw a line somewhere to the Bible. Believe whatever you think it is. It's the
Kevin
first
Bacon
book.
of books.
Yeah. Exactly. I think he has mentioned it somewhere. Jesus was hanging with Simon. He was with Judas, and I think Kevin Bacon was there too. He was just hanging out, dancing. He was getting footloose. He taught Jesus how to footloose. when Jesus' dad wouldn't allow dancing in the town. Kevin Bacon saved them all. That's Kevin Bacon.
What about the ham sweeter?
Is that a pork pun? A bacon pun?
I wish it would. Yeah, it would be right on brand.
Kevin Bacon. He is. I do love every movie he's in. There's one weird horror movie that he's in where he just goes crazy, and he has to. For some reason, his family, his wife and daughter come home, and he's digging up the entire backyard.
Okay.
And they come in.
Stir of Echoes?
That might be it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Good bacon. You know your bacon. You know. But they come in, and the wife says, "Honey, what are you doing?" And he just says, "I have to dig."
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, every time I'm digging anything now, that quote occurs to me. I don't know. I have to dig. It's not really that poignant of a line or anything.
Yeah.
It's just Bacon really can sell anything, I guess.
Yeah. Enough about Kevin Bacon.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, I really went on a tangent. I went on a tangent there about bacon.
You are wants to do.
Yeah.
Bacon comes up.
Oh, yeah. So.
You and I are in an art show next weekend.
Wait, tell me about it.
Yeah, we have an art show coming up next weekend at the Selby Art Center.
Well, for some context, I don't know that I'm going to air this episode right away, but
Okay.
July 15th.
July 15th.
At the Zobi Center.
Okay. What's
in a perfect world I'd air this before then, but let's be honest.
Yeah. So tell me about the show. What's
it called?
It is Liberating the Flesh.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be mostly nudes or
sweet.
Lewds, maybe. Lewd nudes.
Cool.
Maybe a few lewd nudes, not too many.
Cool.
Probably
Sweet.
tasteful, but probably some really high quality paintings, if we're being honest.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I saw that all the other paintings that are in it are far better than mine, but I'm glad to show. So, like, speaking of what, during the pandemic, it was really hard to show art publicly. I mean, it's
Sure.
possible, but like,
Makes sense.
like I had a show, and it was just the restrictions were such that it was almost like it didn't happen. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like the first time that I'm showing art publicly since all this happened, and yeah, I'm super excited. There's really awesome. It's mostly realism artists and figurative
Cool.
painters. Obviously, it's about the naked body,
Yeah.
and curated by is that Sergio Gomez and.
I was told about it pretty late in the game, so this is an answer I should know, but I totally don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I
I don't
mostly
know
don't do anything. I usually pay people on Fiverr to like write things for me. So
Okay.
I hardly keep track of anything.
Yeah.
I understand.
I can't like run my own social media for the life of me. Like,
Alright.
I take a picture and I just hate it. And
I gotcha.
I'll never post that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But yeah, so hopefully like this show will be
Good opportunity.
good opportunity to also talk to different artists and see how the hell they've been holding up during this whole time, because
Right.
I know a lot of artists have like we're studio rats anyways, like locked in front of the canvas,
Yeah.
but then you need to exhibit like as much as possible to get out of that space.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
so yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that place is so great. I mean,
Zobi or Zobi.
Yeah.
One of those two.
Where is that exactly? Where?
Bridgeport.
In Bridgeport.
yeah, right by the
35th.
Comiskey Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Between
I've heard.
Halstead and Ashland on 35th somewhere.
Right.
It's a pretty wide stretch, I know, but
No, I
between there.
I know that. I know the area. Yeah, I know that spot. That's cool.
Is that?
Yeah, they always have really high quality artists there, and I believe some studios, some artists like have residencies there, and
Gotcha.
they have some studios as well.
It's
And a lot just reside there
I was
in their studios, as in most arts buildings.
Yeah, totally.
It's cheaper than getting an apartment without a roommate.
Yeah. Oh man, I've been in so many different studios over the years. It's so funny. Like,
Yeah.
I think one of the funniest, I think I could say it, I'm not going to say any names, but one of the funniest studios I had, most people who are, like you said, like, they're not full-time artists.
Sure.
They're using, like, the art studio to kind of, like, live for cheap.
gotcha.
And the girl next to me was a cam girl, and so
Okay.
like at a certain time there'd be the tips, and like it was like a legit, and it got
Okay.
loud. It was so funny.
Really?
And those are mostly the artists who like reside in these buildings.
When you say a cam girl, like she like
Yeah, I mean like a legit Pornhub cam girl or whatever.
Yeah, so she just she take requests on live. And
Yeah. So I'd be painting away, and
Yeah,
there'd be like live shows going on next door, and she'd have special guests come in,
Really?
and it'd be like, I wonder what the guest is gonna be this Thursday night or whatever.
That's awesome. That's funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Those are fun
Like,
neighbors
so-
to have.
Yeah,
Totally. Meet some
Yeah.
really awesome people.
I lived above a dungeon when I first moved to the big city from the suburbs.
Above a dungeon.
Yeah, so
Like a BDSM dungeon.
Yeah.
Really?
So I would meet dominatrixes, where dominatrix,
Yeah.
dominatri,
Uh-huh.
when I would be outside just smoking a cigarette on the steps.
Sure.
Someone would come out, or go in, or I'd be cooking some dinner in the kitchen, and they were suspending someone from the ceiling on chains, and I would hear it going through a pulley system when I was going through the house while I'm cooking dinner.
Yeah.
And, like sort of melodic kind of whipping.
Sure. Yeah.
Like intentionally trying to make
make
a little melody out of it.
Yeah, that makes
It was
sense.
Pretty funny.
I'll say it. That's,
I mean, I'm hard right now. Like, it was probably definitely very motivating.
right. or just good, you know. I bet the dominatrix would be handy too. To like if you know if you need a recommendation, right?
Some butter or salt,
right? Or a good chain, a quality chain, like, you know, who's your chain guy? You know, get some, get some good recommendations on.
One of my favorite interactions that I had with one of the Doms was when we had a bottle stacking competition and I won. She was very upset that she lost. That was a moment of victory.
Sure.
She was genuinely upset.
Were you ever tempted to?
I couldn't afford that.
Right on.
It was like 21.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
my budget.
I feel you. Oh, that's funny. That's well, you talk about the art scene. I was saying to Adam actually before we started that my knowledge of the Chicago art scene is limited to what I saw in Jordan Peele's Candyman. I may reference the third random horror movie of our Secret Window, Stir of Echoes, and Candyman to complete the trifecta. So I don't know. Did you see that? Is it accurate?
The new one?
Yeah, the new one. There, he's an artist. And there's some under.
So I'm really bad with movies. The original Candyman is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
Clive
Cabrini
Barker.
Green.
I've probably seen that 100 times, but I can't quote it or anything. But it being in Chicago, Cabrini Green, and
it's just it's scary as hell, especially when you're little. That oh man. Do you ever say it in the mirror?
Yeah, I remember when the original came out.
Why don't you say it again? You've already said it.
I have, yeah. Crap.
I was probably in kindergarten or first grade when that movie first came out, and my siblings, they saw it in theater, and they would always say it in front of the mirror, and just scare me. But the thing is, I actually wanted if it's real, then I wanted it to be true. So I tried it, didn't work, and I honestly I didn't believe in summoning demons after that because it just didn't work. If I could have, I would have.
Yeah.
I've done it so many times in other ways.
Ouija.
Summon demons in human bodies so many times.
you found a way. Yeah. Did you ever do play with Ouija boards when you're?
No,
so I totally wasn't allowed to or
No.
anything, but same thing, man. My parents, they didn't like trolls or a Ouija board or Smurfs.
Right.
Really?
A lot of
they
these,
have against Smurfs.
They're demonic.
Yeah. So just a little context. Cameron and I actually were both raised as Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
We didn't grow up together. We met as adults.
Gotcha.
But this was just a common sort of story.
Similar toys you couldn't play with,
Sure.
and similar things you couldn't do. And so I was always intrigued by these toys. I mean, Smurfs. There's so many other things, even G.I. Joes. It would be literally anything.
Yeah.
And so I was always intrigued, and I didn't believe it because my friends had Smurfs and Pogs, and they had a good time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, no Pogs?
You can't fight with Pogs, or
They could find a reason.
It's just a bad up, right?
Kind of like Kathy Bates in The Water Boy. That is foosball is the devil.
Pikachu has a satanic tail because it's like an electric bolt. This would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
Most of it was true.
Lucky Charms. We didn't have those.
Because luck is bad.
Luck is not real.
Really? Yeah, luck is bad.
Oh man, yeah, that's tough.
It would be
that
so hilarious.
Yeah,
that one's deep.
Luck is bad.
Not a deep cut, but that one's. I think about that today still. Luck really isn't real, is it?
It's
like I don't know what philosophy that would follow if you were outside of it.
Yeah. Man, as an Irish guy, I base a lot on luck. Exactly. I depend on that luck. I like to think there's a little, leprechaun following me around, sprinkling me with.
I was like the worst friend to have as a kindergartner or in elementary school, because I would always be like, Santa isn't real, Easter Bunny isn't real, like none of this stuff is real, and I thought I was like telling them some kind of secret truth.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What? Like,
oh no,
you ruined my life."
You're kidding me. Santa? No. Somebody's putting those presents under the tree. I gotta.
And it would be kind of cynical too, because I knew that the Tooth Fairy wasn't real, but my friends all got paid, so I was like, "That is real,
right?
Like, money talks."
Proofs in the pudding. Yeah.
I've heard money isn't real.
Money. Yeah.
I hear that from wealthy people that only.
I mean, what is it really? It's just.
So I guess.
It's only real because we say it is. Yeah.
Or they're up to something.
Yeah.
Maybe both.
I mean, money. I mean, what is it? Yeah. I mean.
I don't believe that. Just to clarify.
I mean, is gold actually what? It doesn't have that many uses, but it's valuable because we all say it is.
Yeah, it's fine. I can understand the reasoning.
Yeah.
Sound logic.
Yeah. Right on.
I found this one. It's called like a Canute penny, I believe is what they call it, and it's when like King Canute was ruling over Denmark and England, and you might know this. Was it Ireland too? I think like they were. There's this one period where King Canute was ruling over like that whole area.
How do you spell that?
CNUT.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's actually
I was thinking of
where my
Rocky.
surname is derived from, but like it was so long ago, it was probably zero relation.
All right.
But he ruled over like a large part of, like the UK at the time.
I gotta plead ignorance on this. I'm not familiar, but I'm interested.
Yeah, so like I was like looking it up, and I found this awesome artist on Etsy, Facebook. He's just an independent artist.
Yeah.
And maybe link in the description, but he makes these old replica coins, and just by hand, like hammering them out and stuff, and it's really cool work. E.W. Stewart is the dude who like created them, and so I found this coin. It looked really cool. It had like this thing, the Canute cross on the back.
Gotcha.
On the other side it says Rex Canute, and it has the portrait of King Canute on it.
Cool.
And so I had it commissioned by this guy out of gold, and it's not a lot of gold, and it's not a very expensive or valuable thing. Nobody else probably wants it because it's a replica. But I just thought it was like really cool that back in the day, at one time there were coins, like most coins are out of circulation and irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like in any culture or whatever, they've just completely gone to zero.
Right.
But they're kind of cool sometimes. They're
sorry.
Like I used to just throw out pennies because they're kind of trash.
Right.
But I started collecting them again.
Okay.
And they're a weird token of like a history. I think it costs more to make a penny than it even is worth.
I believe it. Yeah.
And for how long is that? You think?
How long will we have
How long
pennies?
is that true for? How long has it been true for?
I don't know exactly, but probably for like 10, 20 years.
I would
or something. Like they've been
agree.
irrelevant, and we'll probably see in our lifetime them not make any more pennies.
Yeah.
And then
because copper is very valuable. I mean, right? You see people stealing copper wiring and stuff like that and selling it.
Totally.
So that's a
if you have to do any plumbing, it sucks in your house or anything. But so I think
we probably
this Canute penny, the Lincoln penny is like so close to being there.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of a weird phenomena.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
That I was thinking about.
Yeah.
If you bring up money.
See what that looks like.
But that, like you said, that coin means a lot to you, more so than it would be worth to someone else.
Yeah.
It's just like
a catalytic converter.
Yeah, man. That's.
It's going like hotcakes.
I live in constant fear of someone taking my catalytic converter because it takes like 5 minutes, right? The whole deal. They just
I haven't had that happen
lift
yet.
it up. Yeah, I've been
But
fortunate.
I did have someone just do like $7,000 worth of damage to my car that was parked.
I saw that picture, man. That's crazy. What happened?
Intense.
What? Tell me the story.
So I came home 4th of July. And I parked, and I found this great parking spot right in front of my house. And
dream spot.
This is great.
Yeah.
It's 12:30.
Everything luck. Good luck.
Yeah, street parking right in front of my house. That's so
everything's coming up at him.
That's there's no such thing.
Yeah.
This is evidence.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so I went to sleep, and I wound up waking up the next day, going about my everyday tasks. Didn't need to leave the house until about 2 p.m. And I left the house and I saw my car up on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
So there was a note that was left, and the whole front driver's side was just smashed. And
dude, it's crushing.
It was. But I really dealt with it well.
You didn't
now.
rage out? You didn't rage out immediately?
No, I really handled it well.
Okay. It's like, hey, at least I wasn't hurt.
Yeah.
Look at the bright side.
I'd be proud of that if it weren't what I was supposed to do anyway.
The note was interesting. The note.
But I think that,
what was the note like? Yeah. Hey, I'm uninsured. Good luck.
The note really said, hi. We called the police. We witnessed this thing. Here are our phone numbers. 3 different people. This person only heard it from their house. This person saw it and saw the guy.
Yeah. And
I called each of them. They all had this long story to tell me, and you could tell they were sort of
they wanted to help.
Less eager to help than they were eager to tell an interesting story.
Tell their story. Sure.
Yeah.
I got you.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah. You got 3 different takes on it.
Yeah. And the one was the most intricate by far.
Huh. Every detail.
From the woman, the neighbor across the street. All the details. Yeah. And I just wrote everything down. I was a good detective. It was kind of fun.
There you go.
But I wound up finding out it was raining. The car was going 70 to 80 miles an hour down the street.
Yeah.
And they hit some water. They spun the car. So the back of their car wound up spinning around and hitting my car.
Oh.
And then a phone flew 20 to 30 feet out of their car window. So when they stopped, the guy got out of the car and he got his phone, and then he got back in his car then he took off.
Man.
So
it's too bad he didn't leave that phone. That would have been a great clue for. Right?
That
would have been a case breaker.
You can see one of the best clues I got was was from
I like
this.
I like Detective Adam. That's a good.
It's fun. This was inside my broken out
letters
windshield and like the hollowed out car.
Yeah, like letters.
So I thought this is clearly. I thought it must be XRS would be the order that went in. So I posted this on the Neighborhood Watch page, and somebody saw the car because I got footage from the alley camera that you got to see the car. It drove away. You can't see the license plate, unfortunately.
Right.
I did my due diligence. I can't find any more footage. So, and someone identified what kind of car it was. And then I looked at those and I said, it's RSX. XRS.
RSX. Okay, yeah.
So,
I see it.
What was that? Is that Acura?
I don't know. An RSX.
I don't fucking
I don't follow cars. It's too many. There's too many. That's a big clue.
That's a big clue to find that.
Yeah. This is you got a break in this case.
Pictures of those. That was the biggest break yet.
Yeah.
Outside of my heart.
This is
how many RSXs do you think are in Chicago? Like 1 million or something?
Maybe yes.
This is when they go to a commercial break in Law and Order. We just got this This could be our
I do
biggest
have
clue yet.
a detailed description of the driver from the eyewitness. He was a young man.
Okay. Like too young to be driving a car? No?
Period.
Just a young man. That's something to go on. Mm-hmm. All right. So we can rule out old men.
Yes.
And women.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Big deal.
All right. So
that's like 50%.
All right. So we're yeah, you've got the suspect list. Well, all right. That's something to go on.
So I'll pay out of pocket $1,000 deductible for him.
Oh man.
$7,000 of damage.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I would have rather had my wallet stolen at gunpoint.
Yeah, it would have been better.
Cheaper. Yeah, $1,000.
But
I'm parked out front. Are you parked out front?
Oh yeah, I think I'm parked in that same sweet spot. I'm right.
Now I want to go check on my car. I actually I recently moved but I was looking right in your neighborhood here, like right across the street. I looked at a place and I was considering it because I do love this area. It's a great spot. I love Ukrainian Village. I ultimately ended up I just moved to Wrigleyville, so like I'm right by Wrigley Field. I'm very excited because growing up a Cubs fan, little kid me is very excited now that I finally realized my dream of living there.
Being an alcoholic.
Another dream realized.
Yeah.
But I was living in Bucktown, which I adore. I absolutely love the neighborhood, and but circumstances changed, and my buildings were sold to, so it was time to move, and part of me wanted to stay in Bucktown, and I might move back there someday, but I kind of feel some happiness scratching this itch that I've always wanted to live in the shadows of Wrigley Field and go to Cubs games or just hang out in the atmosphere and just live my Cub dreams as a little kid that I had. So I'm excited about that. It's an exciting change for me. What's that?
Maybe they'll win again someday.
Maybe.
Maybe if you move there.
Yeah. Right.
Bring some of that luck with you.
Yeah. If I can live another 100 years, then maybe they'll win again. That seems to be their routine. But so it's I'm excited about that.
Cool.
That's all. Yeah. And yes, there are plenty of bars up there as I'll discover more and more. So are we supposed to? We get this deck of cards here.
We can get into it if you would like.
I don't want to.
I think that it's always kind of a fun way to change the mode.
Okay.
And go deep sometimes. Sometimes
Yeah.
If you want to cry.
Okay. I'm prepared.
We could turn off all the other cameras.
And just focus on my tears. I'd like that. Yeah, if I'm going to cry, I want it to really have an impact. You hear me wailing. Cameron, you're...
All right, so...
I defer to you.
So they're pretty mixed up. I shuffled the deck, so I have no clue what...
I think that means that he read through them all and was like, I'm going to put this in this order.
Yeah, how many passes do we get? Do I get a phone a friend?
You get as many passes as you
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, these are funny, I guess.
What are these? These cards are...
These cards are based on becoming better human being.
Oh.
I'm going to assume.
All right.
I don't know that to be true.
Yeah. Okay.
I just assume that about everything.
Here's a discard pile.
I bet I can get a C on this.
Great.
C average.
What makes you unique?
What makes me unique? Damn. That's I'd like to think I'm unique, but are any of us really unique? I guess I don't know if it makes me unique.
Say your thing.
I like yeah, sure. 1.5 years is certainly unique. Man, I guess I'm not that. I don't feel that unique. I'd like to. Should I? Now I'm gonna cry. I realize how basic and normal I am. Wow, what a daunting realization.
I'm so not unique.
I just had an epiphany that I'm just like everybody else. No, I guess just being a 40-something bachelor with no I guess I've
That's not so unique.
That's not.
I hear you. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I guess I feel unique amongst at least some of the people I grew up among. They all seem to get married and choose that path, but I haven't so far. So I guess that makes me a little bit unique within my group of friends. But I don't. It's not really a dedication that I just haven't found anyone that I'm gonna marry.
You chose that, right? It was your decision, right?
Yeah. To some. yeah. I mean,
definitely how I planned it.
On some levels, I don't. I guess
That's very good.
I don't know. That's a tough question, but I like to think I'm unique, but I'm probably am in some ways that I can't define. But
it's the perfect amount of probing. I liked that question.
Okay.
Anybody else want to answer that, or I would do one?
Yeah. Do you want to try a unique one, or do you want another question?
No, that was your question.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I got one for you. This is get the handkerchiefs ready. Cameron, when do you feel out of place?
Dude, I feel out of place all the time. I mean,
where'd you get these emotional cards?
Museum of Contemporary Art.
If you wanna,
they're made to strengthen connections and to give intimate conversations a chance and to sort of catapult you into this.
Right on. And they're definitely not for parties.
I'm liking it. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So I like it. I'm teasing.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of places make everyone feel out of place. Like they're not inviting. The lighting is whack.
Sure.
Like there's not a supermarket that like is comfortable.
Okay.
Or like most like sidewalks. I feel out of place on a sidewalk because it should be dirt.
Huh.
Or like there should still be some horses around to catch. Or I don't know. I think
it's way better.
Everyone should feel out of place when you wait. Like I don't think this comes across on the camera, but we're basically surrounded by miles of these weird wires and all these gadgets. Like this microphone, that camera, this iPad, they're going to be irrelevant in like 10 years. No one will even care about them. And we're surrounded by things that should make us feel out of place in a weird way or something. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's nature.
So you're
too.
Unique. That's a complete answer.
That's a unique guy right there.
Cameron's winning. Cameron's gonna mop the floor with me at this card game. You can already tell.
Oh yeah, is this a card game? Like, are there winners?
I mean, I'm not winning if there is.
There are, that you are meant to keep the cards that. Okay, so the dealer.
You keep the card if the
asks the question.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
this is like fuck the dealer with embarrassing questions.
I think everyone else answers the question, and then the dealer is meant to give the card to the one whose answer they like the best.
Yeah.
So.
And then everyone
leaves.
That's
the part of the game where I get confused.
Yeah.
Because that seems deeply judgmental.
Yeah.
It seems like it's against the nature of the game.
Yeah. Like, okay, you get the card because you pleased me with your answer. That does.
Yeah.
That's
going to have some confirmation bias right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just use them as conversation starters.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not using them as anything.
Yeah.
We are all losers.
And are these going to Adam as well?
Yeah. Do you answer them?
Yeah.
Okay. You can.
All right. I'll shoot this to Adam. What does a life well lived mean to you?
Well lived?
Yes.
Not well liked. Well loved. I think that's the key. Okay. And I think that you can't be well loved unless you're being sincere. And I think to be well liked is a fool's pursuit. So that's a life that I would like to live.
Does that know?
But that's not. It's out of your hands because it's not what's in your. what would be in your hands would be to behave in such a way that's lovable.
Right.
And you can't be lovable unless you hate yourself. That's the dishonest part of my answer. So I think that unless you care for yourself that much, you can't really attract that kind of thing. In my worldview, which is, somewhat skewed to the underbelly.
No, that's
I'll take that.
that's a good answer.
Boy.
So are you saying that a life unloved is a life unlived?
Well, what if you love yourself? Because then we can get super accepting. We can get radical acceptance about us right now in this answer. If we get that, if you love yourself and you never meet another person, you're still well loved.
Are we gonna
go that route?
Go
there.
Is this solely romantic love you're referencing? Because you can be loved by friends and family. I mean, and dogs.
And dogs.
Yeah.
I mean,
no
one's gonna love you more than a dog.
Exactly. Yeah. Is that encompassed in your
Well, you're not
your
gonna
answer?
find unconditional love anywhere else. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So
but is that type of love?
You treat that dog right.
Yeah. Is that type of love under the umbrella of your answer? Would you say? Are you? No, just all like non-romantic love, or is that or was that specific to
yes,
romantic love?
No,
okay.
Who cares about romantic love? That's you can buy romantic love. It's not.
Yeah, it's on with a Cam girl. Cam knows a girl.
I think that I mean we could do New Age. Let's do hippie, or we could say agape, right? We could talk about that kind of love, maybe.
Yeah.
Say that's the most desirable love is the love of true compassion.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, it's a long answer. It's a little rambly, but I think we went on a good one.
Yeah, that's good. That was a good answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I believe that, but sometimes it just feels good to say things.
Yeah, for sure.
Test out the waters and say, can I stand behind that, or am I going to say, no, I don't believe that. But if you say nothing, that's when you're in a good position.
Yeah. Yeah, better. That reminds me of the better to keep your mouth shut and reveal than to open your mouth and reveal your ignorance, right? And there's an episode of The Simpsons where Homer is like thinking in his head, I don't know what that means. Better say something so they don't think you're stupid. And he goes, takes one to know one. I'll go deep on Simpsons references all day if you don't stop me. I better pick another card.
Wish these cards were based around The Simpsons.
Hey, that'd be great. I would win that game. Okay. Whew. I guess I'll give this to Cameron. What's the most important thing that was omitted from your education growing up? The most important thing.
Oh, straight up, I'd say law. Like, I know, sometimes you have mock trials and you might spend like a few semesters maybe or whatever, or a class and like, but I mean, it should like only be the law. Like we should just study the law in school and math and maybe like a few other things, but all the other stuff is so irrelevant. Like when you graduate high school, you should have the knowledge of all these cases and basically be a lawyer. Because it doesn't matter what job you have, you're gonna run into the law at some point.
Yeah.
And most people have to rely on like this uber expensive lawyer to save their life. And it's like, you should be able to save your own self, represent your own self in court, and the law should be less far removed and just kind of taught in school all the time. And like I said, maybe did some stupid like acting mock trial class in high school where it's fun and you play this
role.
Those
are fun, yeah.
Yeah, but
but
so
it's
irrelevant.
It's not.
And I think they were about like cannibalism or like
all
these
be
kind
some
of like
sensationalistic
silly things.
Right.
When not really about the tax laws and things that actually affect your life.
It's fun if you get to play the cannibal, I bet, in the trial. Like, they wheel you in like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
What is the name of that game? It's something where you have to play a detective, and then there's a murderer.
Clue.
No, it's a game where it's like you just sit at a table and speak. It's no cards or pieces involved.
It's like,
I don't think. But
somebody's the secret.
someone is the secret killer, and you are all acting, and one of you gets to be the detective. One of you is sort of the nurse or something like that.
Sounding a lot like Clue.
Yeah.
No. But so
No. This is with Colonel Mustard. You're way off. No. It's not Clue. Positive. There's a pipe in the billiard room. Come on. What am I thinking of?
it sounds more and more like Clue.
Is it like dinner theater where you're kind of like,
yeah, something like that. You all put your heads down, and then they ask a question like, are you the killer or something? And you have to put your hand up silently if you're the killer, and then one person's allowed to know in the thing.
Oh, right. I think I played
or
that
if you're dead, then you get to know.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, we did play that. So
I can't remember the name of the game.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Or
Who Done It or something, So
yeah, I don't remember what the name of that game is, but maybe someone will remember it.
Yeah, I recall playing that in school.
And that's like the extent of our education on law.
I think you should be
in school.
I think you should head up the board of education. I like that answer. Are you willing to get into that field? No, you don't want to try and tackle those budgetary problems. There'd be a lot of red tape to work through to try and get your program implemented until you just give up. Yeah. That's a good answer.
I don't know, whatever.
Whatever.
Build a park.
Right.
Garden.
I just want to go home.
Just spend the money, whatever.
Right. Good answer.
Was that? Did you ask the last one?
I asked the last one, yeah.
Alright. I'm going to ask this to you. What is something you pretend to know about, and why?
That's a good question. I'll answer embarrassingly that a specific. I pretended that I caught on to the Sixth Sense. That I knew Bruce Willis was dead the whole time.
Okay.
So, and why I did this, I was with a girl that I desperately wanted to impress, and sadly enough, I thought that would impress her if I was pretentious enough to act like I knew
that. No M. Night Shyamalan plot twist got past you. No,
and this was before the world knew about M. Night Shyamalan, so I couldn't have even reasonably guessed it. And I don't know if I came out and said that I knew he was dead, but I played it like I did, and she was not, and she saw through my facade. I never got anywhere with the young lady, but it was a pathetic moment in my upbringing. Sad.
Hey, at least you're honest about it.
Yeah, it wasn't. I'll never forget it. And then after I was like, why did I pretend that I knew? Huh.
Yeah.
It was sad.
That's a good one.
yeah, I guess. Are you ready for the next card?
Sure, yeah.
Adam, you want one?
I'll take one.
All right, name three things you're grateful for and why.
Oh, God, I was just hoping you'd stop at name three things.
You would have nailed that. Come on, there's three things you're grateful for. You want to pass on that one?
That I'm grateful for?
Yeah.
I'm grateful that...
These have to be things.
Things? Like objects? Like material possessions?
No, it's up to your interpretation.
Okay, got it. Things I'm grateful for. Oh, God. So loaded. I am grateful that I didn't take as much bad advice as I've gotten.
That's good. That is a good thing to be grateful for.
And I'm grateful that I
For air conditioning?
stopped.
Sorry,
Caring.
stop having goofy answers.
No, that's a good one. Yeah, no, these like really get me to be like, oh, I take them seriously.
Right.
It's like, somebody spent a lot of time searching the internet
Right.
for these questions.
Right, exactly.
It's like I've seen
A
these
lot
on
of
other lists.
Fivers to make a whole deck.
Yeah.
I've seen
A
these
lot
on
of
other
people.
lists for some of them, for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm grateful that we have a finite time to live on this earth.
Yeah.
Oh God, I would not want to live forever. Whew.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
That would.
No way.
Yeah. You've
What
seen
the
that.
hell that would be. Ugh.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, you see that with vampires. They tend to,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that tends to be a theme in vampire books, right? Like
Yes.
just the
Right. The curse.
Uh-huh.
The curse of it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think
Congress.
Yeah.
I am grateful that I'm on the third of 3 things to be grateful for in
Yeah,
this
it's tough
question.
sometimes to
That's
come
it.
up with those.
That was the last
There you
one I was
go.
grateful
There you
for.
go. There you go. Very good. Very good. I like it.
I'm just gonna keep going through this deck.
Yeah, why not?
It's pretty.
Let's
It's
rip
doing all
through
the
it.
work for us. We don't mind at all.
Yeah. Who is the interviewer that used to get everyone to cry like
Barbara
Charlie
Walters.
Rose.
maybe or Roy Firestone,
Oh.
any of them that used to like
Matt Lauer. I think he made them cry
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
a different scenario.
Seems like all of them teamed up to write this deck. Like, all right, let's write
I
some
mean,
tear
I
jerkers.
like it. I like that you can do that because
Right.
us 3 guys in the room. Look at the
Mhm.
stuff we've been talking about.
Right.
We're a bunch
Mhm.
of clowns.
Right. Oh, we are. But we're getting real.
But yeah, so this is a nice way to mix it up. It
Yeah.
takes the power out of your hands.
Yeah, it does.
It's cool.
Exactly.
I enjoy it.
Can't just talk about all the bar fights I was in.
Oh,
I gotta,
yeah.
I gotta get
Yeah.
emotional.
Right.
Gotta
Let's do
show
it.
my tender underbelly.
Let's get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Also, Adam, I'm not sure if that camera's on.
Which one?
The one in the back there. Or if it matters.
Well, I think you may be right. Okay. Do you know what that means?
He hasn't been on camera the whole time.
Yeah. So you know what that means is after the break,
You're gonna
you
switch.
get the close up.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, Cam.
That'll be it. That'll be
Right,
it.
Cameron. I don't call you Cam. Why did I call you Cam? Okay.
Man, that's
Bummer.
good catch. Well,
Thank you. Yeah. We're only 1 hour in. We've got some time.
yeah, you'll still be heavily
Let's cut
featured.
that first part out.
There you go. Yeah, that was just a warm up.
Oh, yes.
Good catch, by the way. Holy shit, there's no way I would have seen that. Thank you so much. Okay. Sorry, audience.
Hey, still figuring out
Future
the basics. Yeah,
Look how handsome that man is.
yeah. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna be an emotional puddle after this. No, go ahead. I kid.
what does perfect mean to you?
It's perfect.
Perfect. Is there perfection? Have you ever experienced?
If you go cliche on this one, I'm gonna hit you.
You know, I'm full of cliches. That's why. Wait till you read my book. That's what is perfect? Yeah, I think perfection can exist in those brief moments. You know, like there can be an instance of perfection. I don't think people aren't perfect, obviously. technology's not perfect, as we just witnessed. I don't think any one thing is perfect. I don't think, but for a brief moment, people can achieve perfection. And it happens, when somebody just hits their high point, somebody can, whatever their passion is, they can have a moment of perfection. So yeah, I think.
So you think?
I think it exists.
Flow state, or do you think what do you mean specifically? Like setting out to accomplish a goal?
Yeah, you can have, I mentioned, a movie director can, they can make some movies that are good, and then they just, this one time they make the perfect movie, and, again, I say perfect with, some wiggle room, because nothing's perfect, but they just, that one time they just really, everything fell into place, and I guess you have to stretch the meaning of the word perfect to allow it, so I don't know. I guess I don't know.
I don't think that golf would have also been an acceptable answer. The golf score could be perfect.
Yeah. You can throw a perfect game in baseball. It's it exists if you want it to exist. If you want to believe in it, I guess it's like luck.
It's interesting. I wonder if when people think of like what is perfection in that, if typically it's not like the subjective point of view, like that thing I did was perfect, but you could call out like moments of perfection in other people's lives.
Yeah.
But then I wonder if Michael Jordan would look at that same game or whatever and be like, yeah, that was perfect, or because he subjectively experienced it, it's no longer perfect. Or something.
Right. You see.
That's an interesting.
Someone might see a supermodel and say, "Wow, it's flawless, perfect," or you might look at one of your nude paintings and say, "Wow, those are perfect breasts." That's it's so. I don't know why I wandered into that.
The truth is.
Yeah, it's
no
all the
breast
eye.
is perfect.
Yeah, it's all in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kind of like utopia. I think utopia means of nowhere, or like from nowhere. Like it literally doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Maybe perfection is kind of like that, where as soon as you label something perfect, it no longer is.
Yeah.
Big.
I don't know. Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Nice
Good.
conversation.
Yeah, that was good.
You want to take a break on that note?
Sure.
And,
sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna go cry in my car.
As well.
Yeah, I gotta go check on my car. It's in that sweet spot.
Yeah. All right.
What's that? What are you thinking about there?
I like all these beers. I'm particular to Pilsners. Let's see, or a lager. This looks kind of cool. Let's see, I'm gonna go with this.
We'll definitely blur that out unless they pay us.
And we're back.
Yeah, we are.
And this is painting nobodies.
We had a shot of vodka. That was good, man. That was bison vodka.
That was tasty.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be this grass stuff. This bison grass. I forget the name of what it is. It's like
It's
beef grass or cow grass or bison grass.
Yeah.
Or buffalo grass. Or
is it a Ukrainian?
something grass like
Is it
some
Ukrainian vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had this distinct flavor of grass that was just unmistakable,
Yeah, it was good. It was good grass.
Cool.
Yeah, good grass, man.
Not like a not like a grass.
So I think every video podcast should have a vodka break. I think that should be a...
Yeah, I think we should have filmed that. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
We could do it. We could film it again.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll celebrate.
Yeah, well, there's more in that bottle. That's for sure.
So where were we?
Man, we
We
were
were talking about our horrible suffering and
just the life. We were talking about life. You know, I tend to I think I'm an optimist. Would you? Well, I guess that's.
Would I say that about you?
Would you say that about me? Yeah. What's your take on me? I try to be positive.
Yeah,
in all aspects of life.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, hey.
I prescribe to Michael Malice's idea of being white pilled.
Okay.
Oh,
If
Left
the
after
red
the
pill in the
CI.
Matrix is knowing the truth,
Yeah.
then I'd rather be white pilled, where I know the truth, I know that things are bleak, but I'm optimistic about it, and optimistic about our ability to adapt and
Right.
become new and different people.
Yes.
And
Right.
as
opposed to what? Isn't there any other version? Is it black pill too?
well, to be black pilled would be to be pessimistic about every single thing. And sometimes it's very easy to get that way. Well,
Not
it's
a fan of
obviously
that
easier.
type.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. To me, that bottle of vodka's half full.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
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 Unless it was once empty.
Wow. That's yeah. That's true.
That's always half full.
Yeah, that's true.
If it was once full, it's definitely half empty.
You took some philosophy. You know, I took Intro to Philosophy in college at the University of Iowa. And I'll never forget.
Yeah.
I liked the class. It was interesting, but I'll never forget that my teacher, my professor, scheduled the final at the very same time as the final episode of Seinfeld. And back then there was no
You didn't have
DVR.
no VHS?
There was no DVR. So I had to go take a philosophy final as, you know, Seinfeld was airing, which was a big fucking deal back then. It was, other networks shut down. I remember Nickelodeon was had a blank screen that said you should be watching Seinfeld right now. That's that's how big a deal that TV show was in 1998.
Yeah.
But my philosophy, I was there, you know, BSing about a philosophy on a paper. It was I'll never forgive that guy for that. Although that it was critically panned, I guess. I eventually did see the final episode of Seinfeld in it.
Oh yeah, I remember.
A lot of
I think I
people
saw
didn't.
that when that came out.
Yeah.
Was the final episode where they're in court? Or...
Yes, they're in court. Yeah. You're significantly younger than me, so it wasn't maybe.
It was a very important.
A big moment.
Yeah. I mean, I loved that show. It was for some reason Jerry Seinfeld wasn't demonic, so
okay, you were all.
he was all good.
I understand it. He was sexual deviant. It's obvious.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't get it. But yeah,
somehow he didn't swear on the show, so it was all good.
There you go.
Yeah,
you were allowed
it was
to watch
all
it.
about premarital sex. I just don't get how that was on in my house either.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool. They let you watch.
It was like they were old enough, you know.
What's the term for that?
For
premarital sex. Why am I spacing on that one? The vodka.
Sinning.
No.
Fun.
Fornicating.
Awesomeness.
Fornicating.
Yeah, fornicating. Sure.
Jeez, how did I forget that?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah. So what shows were you not allowed to watch as a youth?
It didn't really matter because I always stayed up and I always
found
found.
it.
And then there was Kazaa and Napster, and you could download movies, and I didn't
you
really
had that.
want. It was the internet
That
broke a lot of
Perfectly
cults,
for-
in my opinion.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not just a lot of religions kind of broke down after that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that really did a number on everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
What did it affect the least?
What did the internet
in your
affect?
opinion?
Well,
I'm trying to get a job with these card deck makers.
I
What
gotcha.
did the internet affect the least?
Affect the least. Let me think. I guess it didn't affect. I don't know. That's a tough
Digitized
question.
everything. I mean, when I think about like when a lot of small businesses were being replaced by like Targets, Walmarts, there were Ventures,
Yeah.
Kmart's, like even these stores that failed. But like all those companies, that was the internet taking over because they couldn't they couldn't take care of the supply chain without supercomputers connected to the internet. So like when we witnessed like suburbs and cities change into these more and more big box retailers and less small businesses, that is the internet and computers and AI taking over. And like we just called it something different, but it already happened like 20 years ago.
I always find it interesting that Sears, which is now defunct, started out as the original mail order company.
Yeah.
And then eventually, then they became, department stores and physical retail stores. Obviously, Sears was where everyone shopped up until the 1990s, probably 80. I certainly was dragged through many a Sears as a youth. Where you had to get everything. We went to Sears to get everything: appliances, furniture, tools, whatever you might need. Clothes for school clothes. You went there, and then eventually, what killed it was Amazon, a mail order thing where they have available at Amazon.com. They have great items.
Such a perfect
like books. You can get books. The Genius of 1990s Girls. Yeah. You really want to check that out. And I mean, Amazon. What a great place to go and shop online. It's so convenient. They send it right to your house. But that basically was Sears of the 1890s or whatever. I don't know when they started in the early 1900s. That's when they were shipping everything, and then it's just interesting that they kind of got replaced with an advanced version of themselves in a weird way.
And the Sears Tower at one point was mostly occupied by that company,
Sears,
by them
right?
like filling out those old catalogs or doing whatever they're doing.
Like if you were an executive at Sears in the 70s, you must have just like the world was your oyster. Right? You must have like there's nothing that's stopping us. Like we're in charge of everything. We own the tallest building in the United States. We have a store in every state, like hundreds of stores in every state, probably, and just we're dominant. And, the same way that Blockbuster felt dominant in the 90s, and they were, and indomitable.
Scapegoats or people to take their position.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's what executives do, right? That's how you become an executive. You find a fall guy, and you get an umbrella. Yeah, you end up all right. You get a nice golden parachute. It's
When I think of the Sears Tower now, I think of it just a big filing cabinet that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
And like a lot of skyscrapers that aren't like residencies, I mean,
That's pretty funny.
they're just these like this old technology that's kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, because
because it could work anywhere.
A lot of people, I wonder you wonder what the future of the city is. I really hope. I mean, I'm an unofficial hype man for Chicago. I consider myself like I love the city way too much. When out of towners come, even if I don't know them, if they're friends of friends, I want to like feel it in my heart. I want them to have like the best time. I want them to like have the best Chicago experience. I'm just like I want them to love it as much as I do. And so like you see the troubles that the Loop is having, filling space and other crime issues that are happening. It's like I really just
Private
want the
shoes,
loop
haven't
to
heard
come.
anything about that.
Right, it's there's a few things going on, but I just like I want the Sears Tower to be, I want it to always be that symbol of Chicago, and and it just
maybe
just
when
the
Amazon
fact,
buys it,
yeah,
then
exactly,
it'll become relevant, I guess.
just the fact that we both still call it the Sears Tower though, and not Willis Tower is telling about
totally.
our love for Chicago, I think, and it's yeah, I
love the architecture in Chicago.
at the risk of being cliche though, I've never been to the top of the Sears Tower.
Neither have I.
No, to the top,
Such a Chicago guy thing to say, right? Like,
Yeah.
But when I went to visit Seattle recently, first, went right to the Space Needle because, when you're a tourist, you do that. But I can't go to but I never find time to go to the Sears Tower.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do.
You go and you stand out on
I
yeah.
wouldn't take photos.
Yeah, you could paint up there.
I used to paint from the
that's-
Hancock Observatory
Yeah.
a lot.
Cool.
Really?
Beautiful. It's the
That
best
is-
view
that is
ever.
cool.
And
Good idea.
I think it's way easier to get into than the Sears Tower. Like,
Yes,
you literally
it
just
is.
walk up.
It is really cool.
And
Yeah.
there's a little bar back there. Get a cocktail.
Uh-huh.
Watch the city.
Yeah, that is cool. An
cool idea.
ex-girlfriend
Never thought
took
of
me up there for my birthday once, and it was that was a nice birthday.
Yeah.
That was a nice thing.
Oh, and
to
I
do.
think the trick is that there's the one that you have to pay to get into,
Uh-huh.
and then the bar on top of it,
Yeah.
you just buy a drink. Like, you don't have to pay admission to get
Right.
the same view.
Yeah.
But the other one, you have to pay, like, some kind of fee.
Sure.
But yeah, either or,
Yeah.
great place for
Yeah.
for a date night or just to
Sure.
paint from. Like, honestly, I painted that skyline a bunch just sitting there. Like,
Yeah. That's cool.
it's cool. Cool vantage point for sure.
Now, being an artist, is it a chick magnet?
Ugh.
Do you hate that word?
Magnet, yes.
I know that's.
Ever since the ICP had a moment.
Yeah.
Do you
Not
do
making
you hate
money
that phrase? I know that's an antiquated
in,
phrase. chick
in a
magnet.
field that's becoming more and more digitized is not attractive to anyone
Really?
who's smart.
Yeah.
Really?
You
So-
know,
so,
yeah,
yeah,
it's like
really-
the worst.
So people tend to, in my experience, I would just say that dating as an artist is difficult because people anticipate that you're going to be a gross predator. People
Really?
project all sorts of identities onto you from.
Oh no.
Or mostly just can't afford a nice
psychos
date.
From the psychos that they've met.
Gotcha.
Because we all
supposed to be
know most
warped.
psychos who we meet, or well, most artists who we meet are psychos. Not most psychos we meet are artists.
Yeah.
But-
vice versa.
Not vice versa.
yeah.
But honestly, I mean, you're meeting a lot of people who are like, very mentally disturbed or who have some
Okay.
kind of deficiency
Huh.
that they're making up for.
Gotcha.
So this is a very performative profession.
Okay.
And what are performative professions? Attracting people who have experienced some kind of emptiness or some kind of thing that is missing that they're trying to fill a void. It's not like people see this and say, "Wow, I'm going to be really rich."
Yeah. It's more.
This is
It's a passion.
This is sort of like artists are made, or artists are born in that way.
Yeah.
Nature or nurture,
Sure.
I think. I don't know, but artists are made often by what they're exposed to, what they're deficient in,
Okay.
and I think that they tend to make up for what they're deficient in the art. The performative aspect of it gives you a lot of validation.
Gotcha.
So I know I'm projecting a lot with that. I know I've experienced that specific thing.
Gotcha.
And at some point, if the artist doesn't stop experiencing that, you go on abusing people for the rest of your life.
Gotcha.
So
Interesting.
that can be an abusive thing if you don't sort of outgrow that.
Okay.
And I think that most people who are meeting artists kind of have this expectation of that, or they fetishize our lives. and they sort of idealize our lives, and they think that we're passionate people until they see the sort of inner workings of what our lives are actually like. If we've made it to the professional side of things, or if we've made it to the hobbyist side of things, I don't know. I don't know that that's a clear line, but it's like
there's a cloud.
You meet
there.
more people who are on that side of the line.
Yeah.
That don't take it to the professional realm.
Sure.
And who just sort of use it as a pivot point to gain favor or to seduce people.
Gotcha.
And I think all of these things I've just mentioned are sort of the experiences of other people in the world.
Gotcha.
I don't know how much they're looking at them in the way that I'm looking at them, but I think that a lot of people who've interacted with a lot of artists have met a lot of crazy people and a lot of people who are extremely disturbed.
Sure.
And dating as an artist, you do encounter that.
Yeah.
That's sort of like not only the expectation, but like I said, the sort of fetishization of our lives and when you get to a point, I think, that can go many ways. So when they see the reality, other people can say, I am illuminated with this truth. I accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
Or you could go the opposite way.
Gotcha. Interesting. You agree? And I'd like to apologize to the audience for using the antiquated bro term chick magnet.
Oh, no. Don't apologize to them. They don't even exist yet.
Right on.
Yeah, well, you can't say chick magnet?
I don't know.
They're not even real.
They're real.
I think, I mean, I can
That's
go
a-
on.
no,
I could
that's
go
a- that's
on.
a good
I don't
answer.
really think I need to go any further into
No,
it.
no, I
that
think
pretty
you-
much sums up my opinion.
Yeah, I think you answered it. That's an interesting perspective on it. Yeah, I was curious, because you just see again, all my references are from movies or The Simpsons, but you see, girls liking artists, because you're
Sure.
you're
Well,
deep.
we have more lovers,
You're
but
deep. You're
either that means we leave more lovers or they leave us.
Gotcha.
That's not always a positive thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a positive.
It does not feel like a positive thing.
It plays well on TV, I'd say. But
Okay.
That's about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
So that's not by choice necessarily. Not for all.
Now, being artists, do family members, friends, or friends of friends ask you to create art for them for free?
God, all the time.
Yeah.
And like they're the strange thing is because it depends on how close they are. When they they don't offer to commission you for free. They want to pay you.
Okay.
But if they're a close friend, then
you don't.
Then it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
And then Adam and I, or like all artists, you spend different amounts of time on different pieces. Any artist can make a quick piece.
Sure.
But then to put your name on it, if you're not passionate about it, it's not worth it. So it's certainly not worth like whatever. So like I like to make art for other people, like a sketch for them for nothing if they're really close to me or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
But when someone like if an aunt asks you, "Oh, can you do a Chicago skyline?"
Yeah.
That's like the worst because
If someone asks, it's different than if I want to give it to them.
right, because
Gotcha.
That's not a gift anymore. That's like it's like a
yeah,
Right.
like I don't like to make
So I can't.
low cost artwork. I don't enjoy doing it.
So I shouldn't
I'd
ask for
rather
that
work.
Sears Tower portrait.
No, right?
Okay. All right.
Like I'd rather do a part-time job or something, but like doing or sometimes like depending on the piece, someone will ask you, I want this landscape or a skyline or whatever, and it's like, I know, I know how quick I could do it.
Yeah.
But since it's not worth it, then like it's not gonna happen.
Sure, yeah. It's just
this is only in some cases, but
no,
if you're asking about like friends and family, it's a really fine line because I'd rather them go on Fiverr and pay some random person.
Yeah.
This has been a huge advertisement for Fiverr, by the way.
It really has.
Like,
Yeah. Sponsored by Fiverr and Amazon. Where you can get the finest books available today.
Yeah, sometimes it's those are.
All right, check it out at an Amazon bookstore.
Or like I don't know about you, Adam. If
World Wide Web.
if a parent asks for work, then it's just like it's one of those things. Like for art, I mean, I make it out of passion, so it either happens or it doesn't for a really good reason.
Right.
It doesn't just happen because someone wants it.
Right.
It's like if it's not in my head, then I don't ever make it. And
especially
so their concept of
you paint a nude for your parents. It's here you go.
Well, there's that aspect too.
Yeah.
But even so I'm working on a flower a floral painting for my parents.
Okay.
And
nice.
it just is always kind of in between other paintings.
Sure.
And
when you have time.
it doesn't feel good to work on it because it's not mine and it's really weird. It's like there's no I think I realized this recently that there's no dopamine that's being released in my brain to actually want to do it.
That makes sense.
Like there's nothing neurochemically happening because it seems so forced.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of things feel like if it's just for our friends or family or something.
I understand that completely. No, I've got as a broadcaster, I've got some broadcasting heroes, and as an author, I've got writers that I look up to. I don't know if I mentioned this. I have a book out on Amazon. Yeah. But I'm sure there are famous and non-famous artists that you look up to, or are there any that really impacted you and made you into the artist that you are? Question for both of you. I mean, or is there somebody that really stands out as a hero or an idol?
I mean, for me, it's mostly musicians.
Okay.
And filmmakers.
Okay.
Like, magicians.
Really?
Like, the type of artist that make something that's that tells something deep about the human condition. I think those are the artists that I look up to more than in my own field or anything.
Interesting.
Or even like Frank Miller as a person who could write and create pen and ink work.
Sure.
That's something amazing. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson, who could write the music and the lyrics and the show and the persona. That's something that is like otherworldly and alien and exciting. And
interesting.
Those and same with like Stanley Kubrick, who could just make something. David Lynch, who could say something about human psychology that's deeper than they transcended books in a way. They transcend. No offense to the genius of 1990s girls.
Available on Amazon.
But there's nowadays you could write a book and then you talk about it and then it gets adapted and that's the real art is in transcending any medium basically. And I only like painting and doing pen and ink.
Yeah.
And so people who could do these multimedia things is really inspiring to me. It actually makes me want to get better at my craft because they have for sure.
Great. That's enlightening. That's very interesting. How about you, Adam? Heroes?
Oh, I don't answer questions. I think heroes change for me, and I think I experience more mentors than I experience heroes.
Okay.
So, as I have advanced in paintings over my lifetime, the kind of realizations that have happened about what skill level my heroes are at has kind of showed me that it's possible for a hero to change. It doesn't have to be like a lifetime mentor, or it doesn't have to be living in an attempt to emulate somebody else's story.
Yeah.
So I think that the mentors that I've had have taught me far more than the teacher or than the heroes that I've had.
Sure, that personal interaction that makes a lot of sense.
And the heroes just kind of
they're out there, but there's
almost like a delusional outlook, I think, by the way that the realization felt once I had acquired a little bit of knowledge.
Sure.
It was this sort of period of growth that I think that everyone in their given profession goes through.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've become the greatest painter in the world.
Hey.
It's not what I mean. I mean that when you get over a certain level of education, you just start to see things differently.
Sure. Perspective. Yeah, and people that have had a personal touch with you are just, I mean, they've made real impacts in your life as opposed to someone that you just look up to that you never met, or right. I understand what you're saying. It's like in A Bronx Tale when Chaz Palminteri says to the kid, like, hey, I know you love Mickey Mantle, but if you were in trouble, would Mickey Mantle ever help you out? No, he doesn't know who you are. It's just like it's okay to have that hero, but there's no real connection to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's the right answer, but
hey, there are no right answers. There's no wrong answers either.
It's definitely not
How are we coming along? Did you get my deformed ear?
I'm just starting.
You didn't get my deformed ear, did you?
I'm just starting on your face, and I'm already regretting it.
Right on. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. I've heard that so many times. If I had a nickel for every time I heard that.
No, I tend to work, in a broad way, and I just like to work all over the painting and then hone the details and decide what deserves the focus after a point. I mean, it's typically the face if I'm painting people, but the story is told by what you select to focus on.
Gotcha.
And I'm deciding on what is the most important way to tell this story.
Wow. I
don't know what the story is.
Yeah.
But it's so far two guys in chairs.
Hey, that's a start. That's how a lot of great stories start. Yeah.
Sitters sitting.
Yeah. I'm learning. I feel like just being here, I'm learning a lot about the process and how you do things. Yeah, I feel honored to be able to sit in a room and kind of see something like this happen. Because I said to Cameron, I don't know. My knowledge of the art world is limited to just going and seeing. Seeing the finished product at a museum, that's about where I see it, and but so it's cool to get to be in a room where it's actually happening. That's never been a reality for me, so it's neat.
Okay.
I love the.
You can always come back.
Yeah, I'll come back for sure. The Chicago artist that I like is in Jefferson Park. What's his name? I should know his. I've been to the artist spot. Famous Chicago artist. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Adam Holzrichter.
He's one of them. He's one of them. What's the guy? Man, I'll think of a famous. I think he's a Polish artist, but Polish American Chicago. I can't think of it, but I've been up to his. There's a gallery of his stuff up in Jefferson Park. That's he's got one called The Boxer. That's just like this. That really spoke to me, and that's my dream someday is to own that. But I think it's worth $1 million. So it might not be a dream that I ever realized.
Get a print.
I don't know. Ed Paschke. That's okay. Ed Paschke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But something about that painting. I just stared at it for a while. It was, and that doesn't. I don't have the eye, So, but that spoke to me. Yeah. So,
I'd like to see that painting.
Deep art analysis is what you're getting. I couldn't even remember the guy's name.
Yeah, that's the least important part. Ed Paschke. I'm trying to think about what these paintings look like.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time.
I feel you. Yeah, there's so many to know, There's so many artists to keep
like?
track of. It's impossible, right?
Could you pull him up or something?
Yeah. I think I could pull The Boxer up. I'd like to hear you guys take it.
That would be a fun little bit.
Yeah. See what you guys think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Paschke. Very difficult name to spell.
Yeah, well, I can't speak to that.
Oh yeah, The Boxer. There it is. I guess I should show the camera first. The Boxer.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite works of art.
Oh, sick.
For what it's worth, which isn't a lot. Trust me on this. It's worth a lot more than I'll ever be able to afford.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Something about it. Seeing it in person, really.
This looks like Candy Wiley.
Yeah.
Like directly.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, down to the pattern on the wall.
Yeah. We'll take the other half a bottle of vodka. We'll go up to Jefferson Park, check out the.
Yeah, dude. So you got into a studio. Do you know him? Or?
We were. So I was doing a TV series at the time, online TV series called Good in Chicago. And my partner and I, Rashana Baldwin, we would go to. Our goal was to go to all 77 neighborhoods of Chicago, and again, being an unofficial Chicago hype man, I show the good parts of, because sometimes, be it nationally or even locally, sometimes you only hear about the bad things in each neighborhood or in Chicago in general. So I wanted to show a positive aspect of each network or each neighborhood. And the show only lasted a year, so I think we got through 20-something neighborhoods of the 77. But it was a fun experience. I went to some. Yeah. You tend to kind of anchor into your own neighborhood, and you don't get out as much as you'd like to. So it was a valuable experience for me, life-wise, just to go to some places that I don't normally traverse. So it was cool. And awesome. So we did an episode at the Paschke Arts Center, and it was cool, Yeah. So that was my reasoning for going up there.
Do you know Candy Wiley?
Candy Wiley? I don't think so.
Okay. You should see him.
Yeah.
I mean,
where?
It was identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How old was that painting?
I don't know. I think it's old. I feel like he was. I think Ed Paschke's gone.
Paschke,
He's
I think it was before
1970s, 60s.
Wiley, but
yeah.
I just was curious about it.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'll check out Candy Wiley.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Is that something I? Oh, all right. Google it.
Yeah.
Right on, Candy Wiley. Tell me about
Candy.
Kehindey.
Okay.
Or is it just Y? It'll come up, I'm sure. Kehindey Wiley.
Wiley, like why?
Like coyote.
Okay. Oh yeah. Gotcha. All right, Candy Wiley. Studio, Brooklyn, New York. Does that sound right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. I gotta see some. I got the website, but I gotta. Here we go. Work. Oh yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like a lot of this, like the vibrant colors.
No, not so much.
No.
It's his big portraits.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
His portrait of Obama is
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good example.
good example.
Okay. Let me find it. Yeah. Portrait. Yeah, a lot of portraits.
He uses classical sort of poses
Okay.
and puts them on people.
Very cool.
Or, well, puts people in them.
Oh yeah, I see the.
I've been not so generous with my descriptions of his art in the past, but I think I care a lot less now.
Gotcha. Hey, that's growth. Excellent. Yeah. Made quick work of those beers.
Oh yeah. Actually, before when I was on the road, I asked if he could pick up a 40 ounce of a King Cobra.
Yeah, you were.
You ever down a couple?
It's been a while since I've had a 40, but yeah, I used to in the day.
Those were great.
Yeah.
I don't drink them anymore or anything, but like
That would have been
those are
cinematic.
a classic.
Yeah, what a
So the appeal.
yeah. The 40s were certainly a choice item back in
The roaring.
They're not even easy to find anymore, honestly.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You find the big cans of beer more often than you see. Yeah, I guess it depends on the liquor store you go into, but yeah, it was a cool the little spot that you took me to, Adam, to pick up the beer.
I do like
Nice
that
little,
place. I
nice.
look at the name of it.
Yeah, it's
I have it on
yeah,
the footage.
is it
Sorry, I'll show it.
yeah, Ryan's Deli or something like that.
That's
liquor
it,
store.
Rich's Deli.
Oh, Rich's Deli. Yeah, that's
And they have all the meats.
yeah.
We didn't look at the meats. We missed out on that.
Yeah. But yeah, lots of nice Ukrainian beers they had there, and the Ukrainian vodka, good stuff. Very cool. Yeah, nice little mart. Yeah. Are you so when you go shopping, are you like a day-to-day, like are you European where you're gonna go get your food for that night, or do you go on the big, like do you go to Costco and load up for a
Interesting.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I do both because, like, I mean, I'll usually shop for the week,
Mm-hmm.
But if I'll have food in my fridge and I just want to go out,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I definitely leave a little room to kind of just like if I could get a snack during the day or whatever.
Yeah, good reason to get up and get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could pretty much live on pizzas forever, but then
All right. Yeah. It can be.
sucks.
Yeah. It gets you after a while.
Yeah.
It bites you back. What's your go-to pizza? Thin crust or?
I like Pequods actually.
Pequods,
a lot.
yeah, that's a good
There's
one.
like a few other.
Mm-hmm. That's solid.
But yeah, like if I'm at home, I just eat a frozen pizza just like everyone else.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that all the frozen pizzas are the same across the U.S. You know?
Yeah. You can...
Like most people, even in Chicago, we still eat the same crappy frozen pizza that they sell anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah, you know, they're convenient just to have them.
Yeah, it's not that different.
Just having them in the freezer, it's a go-to.
I don't have any right now. I've really kept myself in check. I don't know if I'm proud of that or sad about it.
It's
you know?
like
a little sad about it.
Yeah, if you have them in the freezer, they're irresistible. You're gonna eat them at some point. So you either if I'm trying to be healthy, then you can't even keep the frozen pizzas in there. Otherwise,
right.
I'm gonna. Our mutual friend Samantha, she likes to make fun of me because one day she called me to meet her up at Floyd's, a nearby bar for a drink, and it's like, okay, I'm coming. I was just returning from a run. I just got back from a workout, running around, on the 606, and I come home. I like to run,
Me too.
And
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
but I come home and she's like, so okay, and I was like, but I'm making a frozen pizza right now, and I had just gotten back from a run. She's like, doesn't that kill the whole point of going on a run if you eat an entire frozen pizza? And yeah, she had a good point. That was a weird post-workout routine, I guess, to eat a frozen pizza.
Yeah,
or am I running so I can eat that frozen pizza?
It's kind of that.
I remember in gym class, we watched Super Size Me as like a day in gym class. Or it was probably like 2 days. They spread it out. And
your gym teacher was hungover. That's what that tells you.
Right? No, but they took that so seriously.
All right, we're going to watch a movie today, kids.
And like, I'm pretty sure you could eat frozen pizza every day for the rest of your life, or you could eat McDonald's every day for the rest of your life. I don't think this idea that if you eat McDonald's for 30 days in a row, you're going to become sick.
Yeah, I didn't buy that.
I don't believe that at all, man.
No.
I'm pretty sure you could eat like trash and like live really long.
Yeah, we're built for distance.
Because I mean, my grandparents, they never got on any diet trend.
Right.
They didn't change. They still eat the canned stuff and the fast food, and most of them lived into their 70s. So
exactly.
I think it's kind of this BS. I mean, I understand that like carbs aren't good for you.
Sedentary or not. I think that would be the main contributor.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't do anything, I mean.
Yeah.
That would be my prediction. I don't know what the hell.
If eating frozen pizza means a little Alzheimer's later in life, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't even know what's happening.
Right.
Like, I'll take the frozen pizza.
It could go worse. You're right.
Yeah, it's
sure.
yeah. I mean.
And then you make your own. Oh dang!
Yeah.
I mean, you make your own dough and your own pizza.
I don't do that, but I always add my own toppings, no matter what pizza I get.
Really, to a frozen pizza. So you'll add onions or what, or mushrooms.
Sometimes not onions. Well, a little more nowadays, but I think there's
cheese.
spinach. I'll add fresh spinach to the top to just do like a bed of spinach on it.
That's a good idea.
And then I'll slice tomatoes and put that on it, and I'll put spices on it first. You know, oregano and basil and garlic powder, and then I'll put it in the oven. And when it comes out, it's just like indistinguishable from delivery.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you about a pizza invention that might change your life? The pizza pizzazz. Are you familiar with the pizza
What's that?
pizzazz?
I know what this is. Yeah.
It's a tabletop appliance that rotates a pizza under a heating source of frozen pizza and cooks it to perfection. Cooks both sides of it to perfection.
Really?
Yeah, and added bonuses like it shuts itself off after 20 minutes. So say you come home from the bars and throw a pizza in the oven, you know you're risking your life.
Yeah.
You might fall asleep. You might fall asleep or start a fire. Yeah. So it rotates the pizza, cooks it to perfection each time, and it's just a nice little.
Seems kind of subjective.
I challenge. I issue the pizza pizzazz challenge to you. I think you're gonna enjoy it. And you could add toppings as it's going, as it's rotating if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's just my tip of the day. Available at Amazon. The pizza pizzazz.
Good, yes, you can get. You can add that to your cart
right.
while you're shopping for other items.
Yeah, any item that you can think of. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. You know, I think there's a way that you don't have to completely avoid fast food and other, you know, foods that aren't good for you, you know, high fat foods or whatever. There's a way to weave them into your life. You know, I still go to McDonald's every once in a while, and you know, and I feel like there's a methodology to it. You know, you don't have to just completely cut it out, and it's affordable, man. It's a cheap meal. Yeah,
that's a vice. That's not.
It is.
It's not a.
You know, when I get
it's not an option.
There's nothing they can replace. Yeah.
I think that
McDonald's French fries, you need it.
And sometimes you need those. Yeah. You need vices, otherwise. What's the point of this?
I mean, it hasn't affected Vince Neil's performance. I'll tell you that. He seems like a guy that's had a McDonald's meal or two. And the day after a Motley Crue concert, a Big Mac. It sets you right after on a day after a heavy drinking 80s rock show. It'll do you right.
Who else played at that?
It was Joan Jett, Def Leppard, and
Def
Poison.
Leppard. We haven't even talked about Def Leppard.
Def Leppard, Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember that band well.
Yeah.
My brothers liked her. My sisters.
Right on.
Well, I don't remember if sister was like them, but one sister did, the older sister.
There you go.
And I remember the album covers. They used Salvador Dali picture, didn't they? The mirror.
That sounds right. Yeah.
The mirror that was a skull.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I don't know.
That rings a bell.
Or was that Man Ray? I don't remember who that was.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but that cover rings a bell, what you're describing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the Hysteria one. Hysteria was a, you know, easy album to remember for me.
Sure.
I wouldn't say it's a good album.
Yeah.
Remember it.
Right.
I remember a lot of things.
That's hey. You know, they made an impact. You know, good or bad, they made an impact. Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I remember a lot of their lyrics. Most importantly.
Yeah, you know, stick with you.
Yeah,
that's why they're still touring.
The 40 years drummer.
Yeah.
You don't think it was the one-armed drummer?
Oh man.
I think that was that gave them.
Oh, that was right. That was the ultimate.
Leg up.
Everyone liked to talk about that. No limb pun intended. Leg up.
I think that really did. I think that really set them apart.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Everyone. That was a major talking point. You know, conversation point at parties and Def Leppard. Oh yeah, the one-armed drummer.
He lost it outside of a car. Is that correct?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Or some kind of car. It may have been a truck. I don't know the full story.
Yeah. That's. I can't remember the details behind it either. But yeah.
Hey Siri.
Yeah.
How did the drummer from Def Leppard lose his arm?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia. On December 31st, 1984, drummer Rick Allen lost his left arm in a car crash on the A57 in the hills outside the band's home city of Sheffield.
Wow.
Thanks.
That was...
Oh, you're more useful than any of us.
Right? Should just do an episode with her.
Yeah,
just be your next guest. Far more factual and interesting than any human guest. Oh man, yeah. It's well, we made a list, and we were going to talk about hot dogs.
That's true. What's your favorite?
I mean,
I say that with total contempt for the question.
You're right. Such a Chicago podcast question. Yeah. So hot dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like.
What's your least favorite thing about hot dogs? How about that? That's good.
That's there's nothing I don't like about hot dogs. I like
cheese dogs. I don't even know why they make
dogs.
Hot dogs anymore, though, right? Like a bratwurst is far superior.
Ooh. Yeah.
I don't know what a hot dog is.
I guess the
bratwurst is dope. It's
Bratwursts are amazing.
How are they even?
But there's still a market for hot dogs because, I don't know, well, it's one of the first real foods you eat when you're little, right? Your mom cuts up a hot dog and gives you a pile of ketchup to dunk it in, and then you graduate to Chicago dogs, and with all the toppings, mustard and celery salt and onions. There's something, it's kind of built into Americana, I guess, about hot dogs, and they're a simple thing to grill. Simple. They're cheap. They're
Jim's would be my
Jim's original, the
Jim's,
Polish.
I like that one. I like Super Dog.
Sure.
I liked Devil Dog because I got to feel like it was like a status dog.
Well,
I liked hot dogs. I like status dogs, is what I'm trying to say.
You want to hit the major
I like
spots.
status dogs. I don't like street dogs.
Do you remember Demon Dogs?
Mm-hmm.
Underneath the L on Fullerton, it was the DePaul
Wiener and Still
Classic.
Champion was one of the favorite for Dippin' Dogs in Evanston.
Okay.
They're not there anymore.
Yeah.
They had a good Dippin' Dog, which was just a corn dog.
Yeah.
Several Dippin' sauces.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, corn dogs were invented in Illinois, not in Chicago, but somewhere.
I did not know that.
I think. This might be a fact. Siri might correct me on this, but might be something that I think is true.
We're not going to
That's
stay on
not,
this topic
but it's
any longer than we have to.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it's one that runs dry. You like hot dogs? Yeah. You? All right.
Yeah, I've eaten so many. It would blow your mind. It's not true, but I've had a lot, and there were many trips just for hot dogs. With every time I would hang out with a friend, and it's just
cool. Yeah.
Old news,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm not too good for them. I'm not too good to talk about them.
Yeah, but
I like to.
There's only so much.
I like to get to the meat.
Yeah, it's just
as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's making me hungry now.
I get it.
Now I'm gonna eat a pizza and a hot dog.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I'm definitely gonna get those items.
You got some options in these parts. All right. How are we feeling?
I feel good. I'm anticipating seeing this. I guess I'm eager to see it. Not to rush you, but
you're done, right?
I'm getting closer and closer as I go.
Yeah. I'm feeling. I'm very curious. We've been sitting here just seeing. Seeing.
There are several details
wondering
that I need to get to.
Have you?
His face was not as easy.
Yeah.
Because he does not have accessories.
Oh yeah. There's nothing really to. Yeah. It's just a big Irish head.
Your glasses, and your mustache, and your haircut.
Or something
They
to.
make my job a lot easier.
Sure.
Yeah, because it's like Mr. Potato Head. You could just put on a big mustache. And it's like, oh yeah, that's him.
It's definitely him.
Yeah. Yeah. With me, there's no.
It's a real challenge.
Man, you should have told me. I would have got a nose ring or something.
It would have helped. Eyebrow ring also would have sufficed too.
Some people would say, Brendan, you get a nose ring? Yeah, it's for a show.
I mean, if Adam would have told me I was doing a podcast with Hugh Grant, then I guess I would have dressed a little nicer.
Right. Yeah, so it's Have you ever been the subject of a portrait before?
I have.
Yeah.
I've been painted a number of times. Actually, Adam started one at one point. I don't know if that ever got finished, but
right on.
Put that away.
Really? It's just why?
Because it had no intent.
Huh.
It was just a portrait. I think that I would approach it differently today.
There you go.
yeah, it was like a sketch.
Yeah, I felt like that.
Yeah.
I was really
Interesting.
trying to focus on being classical at that period of time, and it was like hard to connect to anything.
Sure.
I was going that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So like a servant. Servant to time, to the ages.
So have you...
Oh yeah, you were at the top of that church or something too, right?
Yeah. In the attic, the third floor of the old Russian Orthodox Church.
Yeah.
It's cool.
There were like no lights in there. He was just like painting by
skylight.
candlelight. And
Really?
There was a
Yeah.
skylight. And there were lights too. I put
That's cool.
fluorescents and stuff.
Does environment matter a great deal when you're painting? I mean, obviously being comfortable in your studio, but would you rather have like a strange place like that to paint in, or a state-of-the-art studio? What's more?
For me, strange. I mean,
Yeah.
strange is about.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. And
Yeah.
I think that helps
Yeah,
because there's so much. Yeah. Yep.
just allows a little more freedom, or like just
Yeah.
less
Mood.
mood.
Identity,
Uh-huh.
and so much of this is bravado.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Is it scary when someone sees a painting that you've created for the first time? No,
Yeah, I don't feel like that.
you don't, or because you're not doing it to.
Yeah, you mean like if it's not done, or like?
No, like when it's finished and
I would say
you're
more-
showing it to someone. Like, do you care what the reaction is, or are you? It's all about. It's
I
about
would
how
say
you.
more annoying than scary.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wonder how Adam feels like.
Mhm.
It's never like really a constructive reaction.
Gotcha.
Most people's reactions aren't constructive. They either are like are trying to be like, wow, that is so good, so it's not constructive. 'Cause
Right,
it's just,
right.
oh yeah, it's depicted accurately, and it's like, well, that's not constructive.
right.
Or yeah, it's I don't
Yeah.
know.
Uh-huh. That's okay.
I
Yeah.
like the
It's not scary though,
colors.
because it's usually just not constructive. So
Gotcha. So you're not. Yeah.
It's so neutral.
You're.
Yeah.
Now, what about at at the show? When is there any trepidation about when you're having a show and it's being displayed publicly?
I think so, but I don't know if anyone will talk to me.
Yeah.
Or like, you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't
Yeah.
want to. Or...
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
No.
The shows. I don't think that my art is really selling at the shows. I don't know how much is.
Gotcha.
I can't say, honestly.
And is that a concern? Like, are you? I mean, I guess on some financial level, maybe it is.
Depends
but,
on what piece I'm showing.
Gotcha.
I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I want it to sell, I know, and I sort of played down my personality and my philosophy and my thoughts about everything.
Gotcha.
And if I don't care if it sells, then I made a hideous creation to other people that I feel was a true act of faith.
Yeah.
And I think that was sort of a recent realization that those are the ones I want to make.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Those are the ones I should be making. I don't think I should be making these
Yeah.
chewing gum anymore. I don't think chewing gum is smart.
Gotcha.
I mean, spectacle's a big part of art.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it should stop at spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
Large part of these paintings on this show are spectacle.
Okay.
I'm not in denial about that.
Right.
But I think the practice itself is what the motivation is.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I don't know how to if that answered any of your
No,
questions.
it did.
Any portion of your question.
It did. Now you had you'd mentioned painting in was it a Greek or Orthodox church? Now, growing up, I again I'll plead ignorance on growing up with your religion. Is there? I mean,
Rastafarian.
is there a
Rastafari.
what is the church life like in or what's the gathering like for in?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's important.
No. No, it's not worth delving into. It's not a point of
We've
interest.
talked about that enough, I think.
Gotcha. I feel you. Yeah, I just
But,
I was unaware.
Ask Siri if you'd like.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
There's those documentaries on that.
So it's that part of your life has faded from as you grew into an adult.
No, it pops up.
Yeah. Certainly.
I don't want to lead with it. So
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't care that much.
Yeah, as a grown up Catholic, certainly as it's not in the forefront of my life in any
That one's cuter, I think.
it's not all cute. Trust me.
Yeah, that's
religion.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Some
people need it, some people don't.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt.
Some people are monsters, some people aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't want to be wrong about that.
I see. You got some classic Chuck Taylors over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're blue, of course, navy blue.
Dude, I
find those are the most classic of all. Well, in my opinion, I guess the red would be probably equally classic, huh?
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe the white too, though.
Yeah. Dude, I had.
Okay. Yeah, those are.
As a kid, I had a collection, man.
Good branding.
I wanted all the color. I wanted every color of.
Do you have leather ones ever?
I don't know that I ever did. I think I just got the cloth ones.
Leather.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, with phase.
But I definitely had, I had purple ones and I wanted a full collection of the Chuck Taylors. Those were cool they were cool for a while, and then they stopped being cool. Now they're cool again. And then it's all
I remember I had like every color of the Vans, like the Vans classic ones.
Yeah.
Because some of my friends, like older brothers, they already had the Converse. So I was like, oh damn, I can't do that.
Do something, yeah.
But no one in my school was wearing Vans, so I just like bought every color, and I was like, these are my
be your own man.
And I mean, even Mr. Rogers wore Vans or something. Like Vans with a nice pair of slacks is like still such a good style. And
it worked.
A hoodie.
Yeah. Perfect.
Never goes out of style.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting close to the end here.
Fantastic. I'm excited.
We'll wrap this up.
Yeah. Do we get to?
I just want to get paint on every inch of the canvas. I don't want to leave anything dry.
Okay. But we get to take a gander at the finished product.
We will.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
And that gander is going to happen.
Yeah.
As soon as this
final stroke.
One, two.
The anticipation. Can you feel it? One of the most exciting emotions, anticipation.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah? We're ready? One last change of my face.
I was using too small of a brush. I got caught up in details. That helped.
Alright.
adequate.
I bet it's better than adequate. Don't be modest. So how do we do this? We get up and stand over on your side?
I'm gonna do two things.
Okay.
I'm gonna press a button. And then we'll
Pause.
switch seats.
Alright. Here we go.
Okay. Feel free.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll follow you.
Whoops. What light did that shut off? This light.
How do this sit?
Need us to hit record?
No, it's already recording.
Alright.
So this is
So we can check it
this
out.
is it.
Oh, dude. That's awesome. Wow. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's
That is,
I think adequate was an accurate word, right?
no, it's phenomenal. It is. I'm blown away that you could just do that, and what's it, over the course of 90 minutes.
I like the cute glass in the middle of it.
I wanted
Yeah.
I wanted it to look refreshing.
Yeah.
I hope it does.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
I think yeah.
give me some criticism. What do you think?
I can't criticize.
You got the ear?
Yeah, you got my Evander Holyfield here.
I tried. Yeah.
You did it right. Yeah, and if like I could see the conversation between the two of us having it. It
You got
feels.
the fireplace really well too. Like,
Yeah.
The bricks and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get better at that as I go too. So that'll be fun to kind of mix it up.
Wow,
See how few details that are necessary.
that's cool.
I think that's going to be the main thing that comes with this show is sort of
Yeah.
siphoning it down and seeing what are the most important details that are worth catching in order to tell this story.
Yeah.
And that's just always going to be the case. You'll just do that as a painter, no matter what.
Very cool.
Hopefully as a person too.
Yeah. I believe it. I'm impressed. Well done, sir.
Hey, thanks.
Good conversing with you.
Very conversant.
Stuff coming up on this part of Western.
Yeah, so you think that the restaurants signal disdain for human life?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
I think
about this city though is how walkable it is. You know. It's like when you go to other cities that are
Here we
just
are.
you have to go everywhere in a car. It loses a lot of its charm, I think.
I think that it lost its charm quite some time ago.
Yeah, the city.
No, I just really wanted to say that on camera.